Next, we're going to be tracing into the tripod into a single leg stance sequence. So we're going to start, as always, with our 4-point breathing up to our 3-month, making sure we have our nice neutral stack spine and all our stability with our breathing. We're going to start with our simple roll over, reaching over the bottom hip and shoulder blade. Then we can have our prop up onto the elbow. Then after up under elbow, we can go up onto the hand. From here, as we maintain our position, we're going to push off the bottom knee, and we're going to transition over onto the hands on the ground, but we're going to be stepping forward with this bottom leg, or with the top leg rather. So from here, it's going to be the reach across, come on up. And this leg is going to step forward, so we're sort of an asymmetrical stance. So from here, we're going to shift the weight into this hip. Imagine like we have a hand support here. We're going to come up onto support on this front leg with a little bit of weight on the back leg also, which we're going to lose in a second. So from here, we're going to continue into that long eccentric glute and hip, where we do almost that same reach across like we were just doing on the ground. So a little bit of a hip pivot, really working long glute, long crease through the hip as we go back and forth. From there, we can go to full weight bearing, having a good tripod on the foot, same reach as we go back and forth. And from there, we can go up to a single leg deadlift, one of our all-time favorites. Transition back down, a couple big reaches into the glute. And from there, we can sit back down into that tripod position as we transition the weight back over onto the left knee and the left hand and get back to our start position. We can go back to that reclined sit instead of all the way back down. Come back onto the other side. So we're going to be coming onto the hands with the leg forward, sitting back into this hip, feeling that crease, feeling that prop up. From here, we can work on the hip pivot as we go back and forth. Really working on the hip crease, feeling that outside glute, doing the work supporting us as we keep the tripod on the foot. We can go to the full weight bearing version as we go back and forth. We can then bump onto our single leg deadlift a couple of times. Back in here, really work that glute crease and drop back down onto the knee, onto the hand as we come back to the start position.